There we go. Yeah, we'll do the Mothra one, don't worry.
I'm Golden, and I'm presenting a revamped look at the cyborg monster that hijacked the return of King Ghidorah, Gigan.
Gigan! Rise!
I love Gigan's design. Look at that. That's so good. That's so good.
One of the only recurring villains of the Showa series, Gigan has remained a fan favorite since his introduction in 1972, thanks to his unusual design and his brutal, sadistic, and occasionally goofy personality. The first monster to make Godzilla bleed, he perennially acts under villainous orders. From the M-Space Hunter Nebula aliens in Godzilla vs. Gigan and Godzilla vs. Megalon, the Garogas and Zone Fighter.
Have you seen the Gigan Rex Web special? Yes, I have. It's real good.
In most of his outings,
it's real good.
Material occasionally describes him as a cyborg space
I love
dinosaur.
It. What if Ridley was a kaiju?
Has led to a huge
I feel like Ridley would be classed as a kaiju. Both Ridley and Kraid would definitely be kaiju sized. Let's be real. They would definitely both be kaiju sized. Both Ridley and Kraid, 100%.
Richly colored dinosaur, and drew inspiration from the designs of the multi-layered Junihitoe kimonos worn by Japanese court ladies. Weekly Shonen magazine illustrator
Cyborg space dinosaur.
Designed the monster.
Listen, I think that describes Gigan pretty damn well.
The sharpness of an eagle from his neck up. The beast
that describes Gigan pretty damn well.
Bolton from the Ultra series, as
I
Mizuki
love
frequently drew
Bolton.
Ultraman artwork for magazines.
I love Bolton.
The monster's signature visor eye was inspired by a pair of sunglasses worn by actor Yujiro Ishihara in 1959's The Echo of Love, which Mizuki had seen as a student. Gigan's name is...
Wait, what? Hold on. Did you know that the web special is a sequel to the Heisei series, and the Goji that fights off Gigan Rex is Godzilla Jr.? Really? Yo, I didn't know that. That's awesome. Holy crap. Yo, that rules.
Portmanteau of a nickname for Ishihara, Nice Guy, and the Japanese word for goose, Gan. Guy Goose, Guy Gan, Gigan. Kaoru Mabuchi titled his treatment
sure,
for the
why
12th
not?
entry
Sure.
in the Godzilla series, Godzilla vs. the Space Monsters, Earth Defense Directive. Gigan, accompanied by fellow space monsters Megalon and King Ghidorah, would have been under the control of an evil alien brain called Miko.
That's Godzilla Jr. Godzilla fucks?
Godzilla, Anguirus, and the ancient Incan idol Majin Tool opposed them. This treatment would also be followed by two more by Shinichi Sekizawa, The Return of King Ghidorah, and Godzilla vs. Gigan, The Return of King Ghidorah, which shuffled the monster cast and laid the groundwork for the final film. As a side note, the movie was produced
technically, Godzilla Jr. is not Godzilla's biological son. It is, however, a younger version of, I believe it's a young version of Godzilla's species, what the Showa era continuity called Godzillasaurus, or Godzillasaurus, if you want to use the original translation. But yeah, he's Godzilla's adopted son, which officially makes Godzilla best dad. That reminds me of one of the two more novel, two-worded phrases I've ever seen in a published book. All right, Rich, what do you got for me?
Earth Defense Directive, as seen in cast and crew photos taken at the end of filming. Its title was not changed.
He's also Rodan's brother. Yes, technically, yes.
Gigan's suit was modeled by Nobuyuki Yasumaru, who took over as Toho's chief modeler in 1971. The suit's eye was made of acrylic resin, while the beak, horns, and sides were made using fiber-reinforced plastic, or FRP. Initially, the FRP components were cast solid.
I'm not sure I can say it and not get banned on Twitch.
Satsuma complained he had difficulty
Okay, fair.
The suit's neck would also be shortened and the fins sharpened, but only after the port attack scene was filmed. While Gigan was envisioned possessing yellow feathers, these were replaced with golden scales cast from the mold.
Chef, it's too late. You've already activated the Scaly's fantasies just as planned.
Gigan's buzzsaw could be replaced with a rigged piece, consisting of a wooden strip with blade pieces attached.
Yeah,
this could be fed through a remote-controlled motor mechanism, which moved it up and down along the cam, mimicking the appearance of a rotary saw at high speed.
It's so good.
A Shaku, or 90-centimeter long, scaled model of the monster in flight was created out of styrene, while a smaller 1 Shaku model was used for long shots, equipped with a mechanism to spray Freon gas from either side of its wings. A giant model of Gigan's claw was also used to depict him swatting at fighter jets.
It's got
a new Gigan suit appeared in 1973's Godzilla vs.
Oh. Part of me wished I never asked what you were gonna say now, Rich. Goddamn. Okay, moving on.
Megalon, his own fighter. While Satsuma recalled that the 72 suit
I did
was
give
simply
warning, you
modified
did.
between movies,
You did.
the
Fair.
second suit can be spotted under construction next to the first one in some production
Why'd you install a
photos.
buzz on your torso that can't be
Shinichi
safe?
Sekizawa and
Don't
Jun
worry about
Fukuda
it.
Then wrote him into an early version of Godzilla
To quote my
vs.
good friend Thunderbird
Mechagodzilla,
Prime,
but
don't worry
he was
about it.
ultimately dropped. Hiroyasu Yamaura's rejected story, SOS Tokyo, Godzilla's suicide strategy, also called for him to team up with an alien robot named Kamelegon.
Whoa.
A Gigan suit was made for attraction purposes sometime during the early Heisei period. Heisei G-series suit actor Hurricane Ryu Hurricane borrowed the suit and shot photos of it in 1993. This suit, or a similar one, appeared in an Ultraman stage show at Hero Festival 96.
Nice.
Gigan was given a radical redesign by Yasushi Nirasawa for Godzilla Final Wars in 2004.
Yeah.
Nirasawa intentionally shied away
unironically
from the
love this
original
design. It's so
giving him
good.
dark blue metallic skin and adding
The
concealed
redesigned
weapons to his
Gigan is
body.
really good.
Nirasawa also prepared concept art for Gigan's modified form.
Yeah,
an
modified
idea of
Gigan.
Ryuhei Kitamura's.
With the
monster was
chainsaw
portrayed by
arms instead of the
Kazuhiro
blade
Yoshida,
arms.
who doubled as the actor for Hedorah in the movie. Modeling company Star Train produced at least 3 new suits and a flying prop, supervised by Godzilla veteran Shinichi Wakasa. All the suits were modular and could be split apart into individual pieces, allowing for an easy transformation into modified Gigan. Motors installed in the arm pieces drove as chainsaw blades, while lights in the visor allowed it to glow. A separate neck stump piece was created for his decapitations.
Yes.
In addition to all the practical effects, several shots of modified Gigan were computer-generated. One of the suits later turned up alongside Anguirus and King Ghidorah in original footage shot by Koichi Kawakita for the 2006 pachinko game CR Godzilla 3ST Battle.
When are we going to get the Sub 41 part as seen as Godzilla
Operating
Final
from their
Wars?
base within
I
the Godzilla
forgot
Tower, the
about
World
that.
Children's
Oh
Land
my
construction
god.
Site, the M Space Hunter
I
Nebula
forgot
aliens used
about
their action
that.
tapes to bring Gigan
Wow.
and King Ghidorah to Earth. After circling the tower, both space monsters descended on Tokyo and laid
Looks
waste
up
to the
what
city
Bukake
before
is.
Godzilla and
His
Anguirus
begins
confronted them.
regret.
The
Oh,
monsters
Galaxy
were evenly
Prime,
matched
no.
until Gigan and Ghidorah
No, you
forced
fool, why
Godzilla
would you do
within
that?
range of the Godzilla Tower, which devastated him with its laser beam.
No.
Anguirus tried to rescue his friend, only for Gigan to slice his face open with his buzzsaw.
Oh,
Gigan grabbed and weakened
Anguirus gets-
Godzilla and proceeded to
Anguirus
stab him
gets
repeatedly in
wrecked
the head
so
until
often.
blood began to gush from the wound. Just as it appeared the space monsters
He's a
would be
tough boy, though. I
victorious,
love
a band of
Anguirus.
hippies
I
managed
was
to destroy
curious.
the
Oh,
Godzilla
no.
Tower from within, incinerating
Hopefully I
the
did not
aliens
miss the
and their
iconic
action tapes.
Godzilla vs.
The evil
Charles
alien
Barkley
kaiju
fight
continued
recap.
their offensive, but could no longer coordinate effectively. Godzilla and Anguirus exploited this opportunity and regrouped, successfully turning the tide against their foes. Both space monsters beat a hasty retreat back from whence they came.
Sentai. I was about to mention that as well. The M Space Hunter Nebula aliens are funny because they evolved from cockroaches on another planet. Yeah, it's oh my god. Listen, don't worry about it. Showa era continuity is very weird. It's very, very weird.
After the Seatopians lost control of Jet Jaguar and learned he had traveled to Monster Island to recruit Godzilla's help against their monster god Megalon, they contacted the M Space Hunter Nebula aliens and asked for Gigan's assistance. The Nebulans obliged and sent Gigan to Earth once again, where he immediately broke a stalemate between Jet Jaguar and Megalon. Just as their victory seemed certain, Godzilla finally arrived to back up the robot, but soon found himself and Jet Jaguar trapped within a ring of fire created by Megalon's napalm bombs. As Gigan and Megalon mocked the heroes, Jet Jaguar took flight and lifted Godzilla out of the trap, to the two enemy monsters' great dismay. The battle raged on, with Godzilla and Jet Jaguar's combined might proving too much for Gigan, who quickly retreated and left his ally at their mercy.
Right. Wait! I forgot this movie was the origin of the iconic Godzilla kick gift. Look at
Left
this.
his ally at their mercy.
Oh, forgot that this movie was the one that did that. Beautiful. 10 out of 10. No notes. Fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. Okay. This is why I love the Showa era films. They're so dumb, but I love them because they're dumb. The M Space Hunter Nebula planet was almost exactly like Earth, but the humans, quote unquote, there destroyed the environment and killed themselves so the cockroaches, the animate of the planet, would evolve into the dominant species. It's so dumb. It's so dumb, but it's kind of wild. That Godzilla kick looked like something out of Shaolin Soccer. There's a movie I haven't heard. There's a movie I haven't thought of in a hot minute. Oh my god.
For mercy. Gigan found himself under the control of the Garoga aliens.
Oh, Zone Fighter.
His claws with explosive charges. Following a Garoga scheme to trap Zone Fighter inside a junked car, Godzilla appeared to drive off the aliens, but was met with a Terror Beast missile containing Gigan. With an assist from Zone Great's Bolt Thunder, Godzilla saved Fighter and left Gigan for dead. Undaunted, the space monster miraculously revived himself. Free from his automotive imprisonment, Zone Fighter grew to giant size to engage the persistent cyborg in a final duel. Gigan detonated one of the charges on his upgraded claws against the hero's head, but Fighter was not phased for long. He quickly rolled away and destroyed Gigan's remaining explosive with his proton beam. After a flurry of blows, Fighter unleashed his Meteor Missile Might attack. Gigan's
Zone Fighter is a very interesting show. I'm not gonna lie.
In the year 20XX, the Earth Defense Force discovered Gigan's mummified body in the waters off Hokkaido.
Yeah.
The monster shared much of its genome with the mutant humans who made up the EDF's Elite M organization. As explained by the Shobi gene, Gigan hailed from outer space and attacked Earth in the ancient past, only to be defeated by Mothra. Before long, the newly self-appointed controller of Planet X reactivated Gigan and unleashed him along with the rest of the Exilian's monster legion
Some 41 segment.
With most of the EDF's forces destroyed, a ragtag group of survivors used the Gotengo to free Godzilla.
I
from his
love that
frozen
ship, the
imprisonment in
Gotengo.
Antarctica.
Oh, it's so
Gigan's
good.
chest saw grounded the Gotengo, but he couldn't stop its missiles from reaching their target. He confronted the newly awakened Godzilla, restraining him with his grappling hooks and dragging him towards his buzzsaw. The Big G retaliated with his iconic atomic breath, obliterating the cyborg's head.
Watch your head,
The Exilian
Gigan.
soon recovered and resurrected
There
him
it
as
is.
the more powerful
Modified Gigan.
and sent him to intercept Mothra before she could aid Goji against their ultimate weapon, Monster X. Gigan quickly defeated Mothra before joining Monster X and battling Godzilla. Though they both seemed to have the advantage, the Monster King dodged one of Gigan's chainsaw swipes, which accidentally hit Monster X. Mothra rejoined the battle and toppled both villains before re-engaging
super, you
Gigan.
read my mind, yeah.
He launched two
EDF.
bladed slicers at her, which she nimbly evaded.
Oh, Perso,
He
don't
then fired
underestimate
his
Mothra.
Gigarian cluster,
Mothra
which
is
ignited
incredibly
Mothra's
powerful
scales
on her
and the
own.
goddess herself.
There's a reason why she's
Gigan
one of the
turned and
guardians
posed
of Earth.
victoriously, only for the bladed slicers to boomerang
Don't
back and
underestimate
cut off his
Mothra.
head.
Mothra is very,
Headless
very
beast
powerful on her
staggered
own.
forward until the blazing Mothra flew into him and exploded, seemingly ending them both. The Showa Gigan possessed a laser firing aperture on his forehead, which he frequently employed in publicity stills but never on film.
One of my friends said to me that Shaolin Soccer is like if Monty Python directed a martial arts film.
Like angels
That is the best summary of Shaolin Soccer I have ever heard.
Like ESP or A Sixth Sense. But he later decided against it, stating that it doesn't fit a monster, it fits a human, or a superhuman.
Yeah.
Nonetheless,
Mothra has never
the
lost
laser
a fight
became
against
staple
Godzilla
Gigan's
outside of
arsenal and
GMK.
other media,
Yes.
inconsistently
Yes, that's
fired from
true.
the visor or the forehead aperture. He finally used it on screen in Godzilla Final Wars. Called the Scattered Light Beam Gigarium Cluster, it took the form of a red energy blast that scattered into smaller bolts of energy upon reaching close proximity to a target. The Gigarium cluster visibly hurt Godzilla and made Mothra burst into flames. The alien released a short-ranged energy burst in the same vein called the Shotgun Burst in the Atari
Gigan
Pipeworks
has so many
games.
abilities, it's
Gigan
wild.
can fire a flamethrower from his mouth, as
It's so
showcased
crazy.
in 3 early mid-90s video games, Battle Legends, the Godzilla arcade game, and Kaiju Daikasen.
So-
Godzilla Movie Studio
I remember
Tour
that,
states
Christy,
this
yes,
was yet
I remember
another
that.
ranged attack the Showa
I
Gigan
remember
possessed,
this.
but never used on screen. Both series, Gigan could achieve flight at speeds of Mach 3. by
Mach
encasing himself
3.
in a diamond-like
Okay.
structure. The
All
Showa
right,
Gigan could fly
Gigan.
through
All
space
right.
at Mach 400. In the Atari Pipeworks Godzilla games, Gigan is only able to fly for short distances and instead favors teleportation, which positions him behind enemy monsters. Gigan's most commonly used weapons were a pair of hooked appendages called hammer hands or hammer claws. He used these frequently to batter and stab opponents or slice through jets and buildings with ease. In Zone Fighter, they were tipped with single-use explosive charges. In Godzilla Destroy All Monsters Melee and Save the Earth, his rage attack, Whirlwind Assault, allows him to
yeah, I
energize
remember this
them
attack.
and significantly ups their range. For Gigan's redesign in Godzilla Final Wars, the hammer hands became more like blades, dubbed the Bloody Triggers. The undersides of these appendages housed dual grappling hooks, and they were called hooking anchors. He used these to bind Godzilla and
I'm
drag
sorry.
him towards the
I'm
buzzsaw.
sorry. Can we roll that
Anchors.
back? Can
Dual
we roll that
grappling hooks,
back?
and they were called
Oh, that is... Yeah. Yeah, somebody didn't quite grasp that. Moving on.
hooking anchors. He used these to bind Godzilla and drag him towards his buzzsaw.
Incredible.
While converting him to
Incredible.
modified Gigan, the Exilians replaced his bloody triggers with double-pronged bloody chainsaws. They proved effective against both friend
English
and
is a
foe,
hell of a language.
and he
It
even used them
sure
as treads
is.
to charge Mothra in the face of her gale force
It
winds.
sure is.
Gigan's tail is tipped with a metal spike. While he never used it in combat in the Showa series, in Final Wars, it gained a few extra spikes and stabbed Mothra like a scorpion. In Gunfighter, he bit down
Fucking
on
Anchor.
Godzilla's
The most
tail on
relatable weapon name I've
last
ever seen in my
attack,
life.
managing to hang on even after the Monster King repeatedly slammed him to the ground. Gigan had a circular buzzsaw.
Yeah, the buzzsaw. Here's the
In his
buzzsaw.
chest, which can slice through buildings and pierce the skin of other kaiju. In Godzilla Final
That's a lot of
Wars,
blood.
the buzzsaw is called the Bladed Cutter. Gigan used it to disable the Gotengo's main engine, and later attempted to pull Godzilla into it with his hooking anchors. In Final Wars, modified Gigan could launch rotating razor-sharp discs called Bladed Slicers from 2 slots on his chest. This attack proved to be Gigan's undoing, as after
Oh,
missing
Anchor!
Mothra, he sliced his
Fucking
boomerang
Anger!
back and severed his head. Presumably, her scales caused them to malfunction.
That's amazing.
In Zone Fighter, Gigan sprang to his feet using the ninja revival technique after Goji defeated him. There are conflicting accounts of what exactly
Nipple saws,
happened
pretty
here.
much, Galaxy
One
Prime, pretty
describes him
much.
as immortal and says he was simply playing dead. Another clarifies, Gigan is immortal as long as both of his claws are unscathed. However, the Garogas accomplished that, they didn't think it through, as the monster himself absent-mindedly damaged one of his claws by hitting Zone Fighter with an explosive charge. The hero swiftly targeted the other with a meteor proton beam and then killed him with meteor missile might. Either way, this technique was included in the Super Famicom fighting game Kaiju Daikasen.
Really?
The
Huh,
Showa
that's
Gigan
interesting.
fled from maser beams, and Godzilla's atomic breath reliably knocked him out of the sky. The Final Wars Gigan survived one blast of Godzilla's atomic breath, but the follow-up took his head off. The second demise happened under unusual circumstances. to say
Yep,
the
unusual
least.
circumstances. Enemies really need to avoid boomerang weapons that always seem to
Gigan
come
has
back
made
and
a
kill them.
whopping
True,
26
very true.
appearances in Godzilla video games as of 2020.
Gigan is super powerful, besides powerful, but popular. Gigan is super popular,
his extended
honestly.
chest saw made him a formidable challenge. Gigan was also a playable monster in the Atari Pipeworks trilogy. In the first 2 games and the PlayStation 2 version of Unleashed, he possessed his Showa design, while the Wii version used his Millennium design. Half a decade ago, modified Gigan made his gaming debut in Bandai Namco's Godzilla, becoming a playable character in the enhanced PS4 version.
Very
Gigan was
nice.
featured in the 1997 television series Godzilla Island, in which he was uncharacteristically portrayed as a heroic monster.
TV show.
Initially
Right,
upon
right,
the
right.
Exilians, Gigan had a change of heart after being defeated by Godzilla, and returned in a later story arc to help him defeat Destoroyah and Megalon. In his final appearance, he landed the killing blow against the shape-shifting monster Dororine. The alien has also made frequent appearances in the ongoing puppet series Godzillaverse. In his
It's such
initial
a cute-looking
appearances, he
series.
terrorized the cast, only to fall into a hole dug by Baragon, which Anguirus quickly paved over. Since then, Bill has doggedly tried to become his friend. Gigan has had more forms than the 3 rendered through the medium of film. The 90s collectible card series, Toy Card, invented Gigan Mark II and
I'm sorry, is that
Full
2
Metal
claws
Gigan,
on each
while
arm
the
for
magazine
Gigan Mark
showcased a
II?
Bandai
Good God
figure of
almighty.
the heavily armored armed Gigan, featuring
That's
a gun
what-
in place of a
hello?
sight around the release of Final Wars. Godzilla Ruler
Why
of
would
Earth
you give
marked the first
Gigan a
time Gigan
gun?
cycles through
Wait
his
a
movie
minute.
that's on screen, or on page.
What?
There was bio from the instruction manual of the
Why
Wii
would you
version
give
of
Gigan a
Godzilla
gun?
Unleashed does
That's
state it was
overkill.
upgraded using the
That's
latest
overkill
Warthog
even for
technology,
Gigan.
referencing the previous 2 games using the Showa look. The anime prequel novel, Godzilla Project
Holy
Mechagodzilla,
moly.
did the whole rebuild Gigan as he got wrecked thing too, with him starting out as a fully organic beast from the Siberian seabed. In an interview, author Renji Oki explained an idea which anime trilogy writer Gen Urobuchi had for Gigan that could never be used.
Gigan.
A workers monster,
Because America.
modified
Marvel
by
signed
former
off on it.
Soviet
Also true.
scientists, with one of
Yes.
his hands a hammer and the other a
Oh,
sickle.
yeah. Okay, sure.
debuting in the manga
Sure.
adaptations of this film, Gigan also featured in a Zone Fighter manga, as well as Cinema Share's tie-in comic for Godzilla vs. Megalon, which
Soviet
inexplicably
Gigan. Yeah,
called
that's that was a
Borogan,
choice.
As well
That
as
was a
Kodansha's
choice.
Godzilla King of the Monsters manga. He became a frequent presence in IDW's Godzilla comics. After a cameo in Godzilla Legends Issue 1, he attacked the Earth alongside Space Godzilla, Monster X, and Hedorah in Godzilla Ongoing. When the Earth's
Yeah.
monsters launched a counteroffensive, Rodan and Anguirus defeated him in Hong Kong by shattering his visor. In the follow-up series, Rulers of Earth, the damaged Gigan had a brief confrontation with Kumonga before the Cryog aliens recovered and upgraded him. Upon liberating the Millennium UFO from Area 51, he battled Godzilla, Mulgera, Jet Jaguar, and an out-of-control Orga in Las Vegas, with Godzilla
See,
and Jet
Orga's another
Jaguar forcing
kaiju
his
whose
retreat.
design I really
Cryog's
like.
next used him to
Like,
defend their
legitimately
fleet
really
against his
like.
former ally, Space Godzilla, but he was badly damaged and beaten. The Cryog commander Ryzon rescued and modified Gigan once more, then unleashed him against the Cryog Emperor Kakaro. After destroying his fleet, Gigan made a beeline for Jet Jaguar and lost again. Still, he escaped the melee in Los Angeles with his life, and the final page of the series showed him under repair in a secret base alongside a lone Mechagodzilla. Gigan's other appearances in the IDW comics include Godzilla, the Half-Century War, where he and King Ghidorah battled Godzilla and Kiryu in Antarctica after ravaging half the world, and Rage Across Time, where the Nebulans directed him and Megalon to attack feudal Japan, only to be driven off by the Big
See,
G.
that's a movie. That's a
Half-Century War
kaiju
writer
movie
and
I'd love to
artist James
see.
Sakoe joked that he only took the job so he could
That's honestly that's a movie concept I would love to see. Kaiju, but they would appear in like feudal Japan. That would be really neat. That would be really neat. Modified Gigan Mechagodzilla fusion. Oh, that would be awesome to see. Are you kidding me? That's gonna be great.
Gigan used an aircraft carrier as a surfboard. Gigan appeared in 3 of Random House's Godzilla picture books, where he attacked Los Angeles with Hedorah, and twice caused an absolute ruckus on Monster Island.
Look at that
When Godzilla
swole.
at World's
Hold
End,
on.
Gigan
Hold
caused an
on.
absolute
Look at that
ruckus on Monster
swole
Island.
ass
When
Gigan
Godzilla
illustration.
At World's End, Gigan twice
What
caused
the
an absolute
fuck?
ruckus on Monster Island.
No, come on. Pause. Thank you, YouTube. My goodness. Look at that swole ass Gigan illustration. Oh my god. I didn't know Random House drew Gigan to look like a freaking gym bro. Gigan got those guy guns. He's a beefy boy. Holy shit. That's funny.
When Godzilla at
That's
World's
funny.
End, Gigan targeted communication satellites until Russia launched a nuke at him.
Of course.
Unfazed, he smashed Leninsk and Peleograd in retaliation, before Anguirus dragged him into the Caspian Sea. Gigan appears in Project Mechagodzilla, the second official prequel novel of the Godzilla anime film trilogy. Here, he was again portrayed as a benevolent kaiju. Discovered hibernating in the waters off Siberia, he was controlled using EXIF Bilusaludo technology, and used to lure Godzilla deeper into Eurasia during Operation Long March. As he was maimed in each battle, Gigan had his body parts replaced by mechanical ones until he became more machine than monster. The Bilusaludo recovered and redeployed Gigan one last time, injecting him with experimental nanometal, which allowed him to instantly regenerate from serious damage. It was no use.
The anime Godzilla
completely
films are
obliterated
wild,
Gigan
y'all.
with a particularly powerful
Are
blast of
absolutely
atomic
wild.
breath, after which a medical officer named Michael N. Hunter vowed to return one of his scales to Siberia to honor his sacrifice on behalf of mankind. That's all we have for Gigan. Thanks for watching.
Hey, Golden. Why are you still here? Mind telling us an old...
Gigan is just Darth Vader without the I am your father. Kind of? Kind of? I guess? Was that Tom Selleck? I don't know who that actor was, but yeah, he kind of looks like Tom Selleck. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna lie.